everybody, Jerome Wright is here, and in this video I'm going to create me an alien. You see aliens there, an image of aliens there. I'm going to create me an alien, and then also in this video, aliens, humankind, life kind, animal kind, all of these kinds, all creation as we know it, living, trees, animals, plants. I'm going to do all of that. And then after I create them here in this video for you, I'm going to send them to anywhere in space that I so wish to do so. But in this case, I'm going to send it to one of our planets in our solar system. I'm going to send me an alien. Let's say if I wanted to send an alien to Mars, I can do it. I know how to create life forms. I know how life forms were created. I know how they get from planet to planet. So, I mean, why can't I send my alien that I create to Mars or Jupiter, okay, or anywhere that I want, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, anywhere. I can create one of these guys and send them wherever the hell I want, because I know how we come into existence. So, all right, with no further ado, let me tell you, I'm trying to make this video short and sweet too, not no hour long. I'm actually going to try to sum this up in a few minutes here. All right. I'm going to create an alien. First of all, I don't want to go into detail about everything, but I do want to give you something to let you know that I'm on point with what I'm discussing with you. I have some very, very intelligent followers and viewers, okay? And I know that it only takes the first few minutes of me going where I need to go to have their attention, and they're on board and on base with me and in touch and in tune. All right, so I'm not saying that all my viewers are not intelligent, because all we need is just common sense with my viewing, because that's all I am, is a common sense person. I just use common sense and common logic, and through my paranormal experience and encounter and my undaunting persistence, I arrive at creating you an alien. I know what aliens are, I know what angels are, I know what we are, I know what everything living is. Okay, so anyway, to create my alien, what I'm going to do is, let me begin by finding me an extremophile. You know what an extremophile is? An extremophile is microorganisms that grow in very, very hostile places, like thermophiles. Like this here is the Yellowstone Park, where there's volcanic activity. And yes, people, in this type of atmosphere, there are microorganisms that actually live and can grow. And I have something down there in my keypad. I'm going to get that later. And can survive. Then we have another type of extremophile. We have birophiles, if I'm saying that right. They're deep sea extremophiles that, again, at the depth of the oceans, where there is thermal activity, where there is volcanic activity, where temperatures rise above 500 and 600, not even thousands of degrees in temperature, you have microorganisms and life forms thriving around that activity. Now, let's go to a volcano. You have microbes that actually survive in volcanoes. Then, let's go to the Antarctic. You have microbes that live and thrive in Antarctic. In the Antarctic. Now, you have Chilean, they call them Chilean extremophile bacteria, and it thrives in Mars-like conditions. So basically, all you have to do is Google extremophiles or microorganisms that thrive or can survive extreme environments. And everywhere on our globe, these microorganisms exist. All right. Now, then let's take insects that can do the same, almost or similar, the same exact thing. You have insects that can survive in complete dehydration for extreme periods of time, and then they can go back to rehydrate themselves at their own will and beckoning. So, I remember when I was a kid coming up, they used to talk about bugs like roaches, insects in your house, and ants, on how these creatures can survive the most extreme cold, the most extreme heat. They said even at the end of the world, these insects will still be on our planet in survival. So, now, let's take all of that I've just said, and I'm going to create you an alien. Now, I'm going to go around to all of those different locations that I just said. I'm a scientist with the knowledge of how mankind was created. I'm going to go to each one of those locations. I'm going to go to deep sea and grab me a microorganism and capture it and cultivate it. Go to Antarctica, grab some from there. Go to the deserts, grab some from there. Go to the volcanoes and grab some from there. Microorganisms, we're talking about, people. And I'm going to gather up all of these different types of microorganisms. All right. Then I'm going to put them in some type of scenario where now I'm going to start feeding them DNA. I'm going to take them into the lab to where I have them. Let's say Area 51. I'm going to take them to Area 51 since that's a popular spot. I'm going to take them to, not Area 50. Yeah, Area 51 would be good, or somewhere in one of those deep desert labs, 400 feet or 400 levels. 4 levels below ground in the desert or something. One of those private science areas. And let's say Area 51. And so now that I have all of these extreme microorganisms, extremophiles and birophiles and all of these different types of phials, these extreme bacteria and microorganisms that can survive, I'm going to take and I'm going to start contaminating them, cross-contaminating them. I'm going to start cross-contaminating now. I'm this doctor now. I'm this mad scientist, and I'm down there, and I'm taking and I'm putting a hypodermic needle on my arm, and I'm drawing out my blood. And each one of these microorganisms, what I'm doing is I'm dropping a tinge of my blood on them, just enough for them to take it and my blood to go into their body. And I sit back and watch them to where I become a body snatcher of these microorganisms, where my DNA, my informations, everything that I know, my knowledge about how to create mankind is now transferred into these microorganisms. Because, our blood isn't extensions of ourselves and of our imaginations, of our mind and of our informations. So eventually, my thoughts that I have and everything that I have in me, my informations, well, if my blood successfully take over that extremophile, that microorganism, then my informations therefore becomes the informations of that creature that I actually took, that took in and successfully took in my DNA. So I can do this not only with my blood, but also with my semen as well. So now, you're with me? So I'm doing this with all of these different creatures taken from each part of our world. From Antarctica, from the most extreme parts of the deserts, from the depths of the ocean floors, from each and every level of our planet, of these microorganisms that will survive in extreme scenarios or extreme environments. I take them all and collect it. Everything that I create, this cocktail of microorganisms with my genes and my information in them, and I fly them off to each and every one planet, and I drop them off. And the survival of the fittest will survive. Each trip, every journey out that I take, I contaminate each one of these places with one of those extremophiles. I will bore in rocks. I will bore in grounds. Yeah, like you see our rovers doing on Mars. I would bore into the rocks, and I'll inject some of my DNA or those extremophiles, or you think I'm taking a sample out of the rock, but yet I'm injecting something in there. I'm embedding my DNA with that extremophile into the rock because I know that extremophile will survive. And finally, when those planets finally thaw out, because they're all frozen planets, and when they thaw out, and when the thermal process goes and the water starts to come, my information, my genetic information will be there. It won't happen no time soon. Even if it's 1,000,000 years from now, my DNA is there, alive and thriving. So on face, there's nothing there, nothing you can see. But as soon as that environment kicks in to where life forms begin to flourish and grow, my information, my genetic information will be there based on the body snatching that I did of that microorganism that I sent there. Now, you have, 100, 200, 300 different types of microorganisms that I flew off to each one of these planets and dropped off. Now, they are there like mechanical robots with a mindset that they know, they can instinctively know that what they are there for, what their mission is for. Because you know why? Because they have my mind sense. They're programmed with my sense of survival in them. My survival instinct is in them. They know genetically and instinctively genetically that they are supposed to migrate in a certain direction, and at some point in this evolutionary process of them being on this planet, that they come together somewhere. Let me put an X here. I'm going to do Uranus. They know that their paths are supposed to cross. Where's Uranus at? Okay. Where we at? I guess Uranus is right there. Where's my pencil at? Why am I not? Oh, okay. Okay, here. Uranus is there. I put an X there. They know that they're supposed to meet at the X at some point or another. Evolve through the water, onto land, and eventually become in the likeness of our aliens and then of our human figures. The chemistry of who we are and how we arrived at looking like the humans that we are now is information that's passed on from planet to planet to planet. And through my paranormal experience and encounter, I know how these guys are getting from planet to planet to planet and becoming individuals and coming different creations like we have become now. This is genetic information that's being packed up, baggage, and then sent from one world to the next. People, it's always been my position that Venus and Mercury were worlds like ours, before they were actually sucked dry by the chemistry of the sun, the interaction with the sun on their energy colliding course with the sun, and our world is next. I'm telling you that those planets were the past, we're the present, and everything beyond, including Mars, is the future. NASA would not be there on this planet if this was not the case. They would move on to the next planet. Now, I'm telling you, people, that I know how we were created. And for those of you that have a common sense of logic, then you will understand that everything that I just told you is reality. I have created you a Martian. Well, not a Martian, because Martian comes from Mars. An alien. These aliens are made. Let me write my name on them. Do I have? These are Gerone aliens. I'm going to put on, I guess it will come backwards. You probably won't see it. This is Gerone. You see that I wrote Jerome on this alien's forehead. Based on my information and what I just shared with you, I can put an alien on any planet. Imagine this. I'm going to give, for those of you that can't see the science behind this, imagine, for the most part, me taking a creature, an insect. And you know that in our ancient world, they talked about how insects was here in our world and they were the ones that came first, this, that, and the third. Well, imagine me putting my DNA in an insect that survive in these extreme environments. One they talk about is a household roach that you see, that they talk about, that can survive again to the end of the world, to the most extreme of heats and this, that, the third. Now imagine people, imagine with me that taking place. Me putting my DNA or chemistry for that of mankind in bugs, in insects, and then infestate a planet with them. And then they know that they come together at one point or another, and they have the building blocks for creating mankind. I'm in the form, it's like not a reincarnation of myself through these creatures, but they are genetic carriers of my information. They know, based on, I can guide that roach over the planet Mars to go out and seek specific DNA or specific microorganisms, consume them, and become embodied with that, and right on down the line, the building blocks, to finally I jump out of the likeness of that roach's body to involve in my information through the oceanic waters of that world onto land, through the bodies of the dinosaurs, this, that, the third, and those creatures, the reptiles, and lo and behold, I finally evolved to the point that I take on this image, an alien, and then the likeness that I have now and the voice that's coming from me. My name is Jerome Wright. People, I have no end. I'm having a genuine paranormal experience and encounter. Everything that you never heard of before, you'll hear it from me. You know why? Because reality is with me. Thank you for watching my video. If you like this, just push like. Thank you.